Happy New Year's Eve, y'all. Yay, it's New Year's Eve. I'm Susan. I'm a 30-something photographer.
I'm Jem, and I'm a professional in my 30s.
We're super excited to come to you today for a special bonus edition of Words Unspoken the Hills podcast. We won't be discussing an actual episode today. We just wanted to share with you some different things that we've received from our fans on social media and just chat about a few things and wrap up this wonderful year of 2016. And Jem, you know why this year has been wonderful?
I don't have any answers to that question.
Well, Jem, honestly, I can only think of one thing, and that is that we started Words Unspoken the Hills podcast in 2016.
It will always be looked back on in history books as the year that this legendary podcast began, so good things did come out of 2016. And you know what? There were some other good things too, and we'll get to that later.
Now, as our lifetime listeners know, I'm usually the director of these episodes, but today, in a twist and turn of this holiday bonus episode, I'm going to pass the torch to Jem. Jem, take it away.
I'm super nervous, Susan, because as we've discussed, you're the straight man and I'm the color commentator, and I'm feeling a lot of pressure right now being the director. Without further ado, let's jump right in to Facebook land, one of our favorite places to dwell.
Woohoo, Facebook!
We have been blowing up from a Facebook standpoint. Thank you so much for all the new likes and shares and all the fun stuff. It's been a really good time seeing everybody jumping on board with our Facebook page. And I want to say a special hello to our two newest likers today on the last day of the year. We have Brissa in Texas and George in Ecuador. Thanks to a marathon on MTV and a few other countries, we had a big influx of new fans from a lot of new places. Want to say hello to Anna in Serbia. We've got a new fan in Nina, who lives in Belgrade, Serbia. Hello to Layla in Sarajevo and Anastasia in Serbia.
Well, Jem, we love our international listeners. Of course, we love all of our fans in the United States who listen, but we know the Hills is beloved internationally, so we're so glad that we have some listeners. Jem, little pop quiz. Based on the stats of who listens to our podcast, who do you think the top 4 countries are that listen?
I'm going to go with the UK, Australia. I know we've had a lot of Croatian and Serbian action lately, so I'm going to go with that.
Well, Jem, good guesses. Of course, the United States is 1. The United Kingdom is number 2. Our friends to the north in Canada are number 3. And Australia is number 4.
Not to get all political, but Canada, we love your Prime Minister. Hey! Another Justin we love.
We also have listeners from Mexico, the Netherlands, Belgium, Norway, India, Pakistan, Ireland, Brazil, Cook Islands, Germany, Korea, Austria, Venezuela, Malaysia. I mean, we have listeners from everywhere, so thank you everyone who's listened to us. We love you all, no matter where you're from. We are a global podcast, y'all.
I feel like Pitbull should be here saying, Mr. Worldwide. So, a couple of quick stalkerish things, because I could not resist discussing this whilst we were talking about Facebook. Kayla Mullins in Texas, you are freaking adorable. You're so cute, and I hope that you're like a professional model or something. Love everything about your hair and makeup. Kudos to you, my girl. I'm sure you're just as beautiful on the inside as you are on the outside, but just loved your photos. You're super cute. And then wanted to say hey to Amy in Perth, speaking of Australia, who has 2 adorable little sons. Last but not least, let's get into something that's very close to both of our hearts, Susan, and that's the cat ladies.
Jem, I do not know what you're talking about. I am not a cat lady.
I definitely don't have 2 cats.
I definitely don't have 2 cats either.
I am not obsessed with them.
I am obsessed with my 2 cats. They're perfect and beautiful and angelic. Okay, Jem, now talk about all the cat ladies that you found on Facebook.
So many cat ladies on Facebook. Want to shout out to a couple. Sarah Kirby in the UK has the cutest cat. Oh my gosh, Sarah, we love your little kitty cat. And then Bobbert in Perth, hey Perth, yet again, is also a major cat lady, and we love you for it. Please send us more pictures of your cat. We would not hate that. Finally, from Facebook standpoint, we want to thank everybody who has been sharing all of our relatable posts. We've had some really, really funny memes that we've been putting up, and you guys have been sharing the crap out of them, so thanks. One of my favorites was that one with Lauren saying, as soon as you start thinking about them, they'll send you a text message or they'll call you because they know you just stopped thinking about them. It's like a radar. And for some reason, Erwan on Facebook loved that, and it was all over the place. And we can't take credit for it. It's Lauren's words and Lauren's face, but I love that that's making a resurgence 10 years later.
It's because that's super true for so many people. I think it really does happen. So that's why it's so relatable.
Boys know. Hopping over to Instagram land, we can't even start discussing it without mentioning Naomi Marley.
Naomi, we love you, Naomi.
We love you, girl. And Naomi sent us the sweetest end of the year note, which I shall read aloud now. She said, Happy New Year, girls. Can't wait to listen to more of your podcast in the new year. So thanks, Naomi, for your constant support and for being such a loyal listener.
And we also want to thank a couple of people who have been with us from the very beginning, interacting with us on social media and Instagram especially, Edgy Fashion Lover and Christine Barrett.
Speaking of Christine Barrett, who is a Southern lady like ourselves, she is a connoisseur of the fine cuisine of a little gourmet restaurant I like to call WAHO for short. You may know it as Waffle House, and if you don't have it where you live, I am so sorry for you. But Christine has a Christmas tradition of eating at Waffle House and Instagrammed 2 gorgeous mugs of coffee, which I was very jealous of. So we had a little chat about it, and she said she knew that we would understand the Waffle House love. All I gotta say is scattered, covered, smothered, Christine, and we love you. Let's revisit the best Instagram name in our entire host of followers, and that would be Hot Messly. Hey, Hot Messly.
Best Instagram name ever.
Pretty great. Pretty jealous I don't have something a little wittier for mine. I mean, mine is Words Unspoken Podcast, but
of course,
with all of the funny jokes and the not so funny jokes going around about 2016 being a disaster, we do have to admit that there are a lot of great things that happened in 2016, and we want to talk about that with regards to our listeners. Whitney had a beautiful, beautiful baby, and we plan on her being a guest host. Whitney, not the baby. We also want to say hello to Michelle in Florida, who is an absolute super mom herself. We love her, and she's a very loyal listener. And quick reminder, we mentioned this over the summer when it happened, but our extremely loyal weekly listener Noelle got married in a beautiful beach ceremony, and she will let us know if we do not release an episode on a Friday. She'll be like, where is my new episode? So we love you, Noelle. Also wanted to shout out to listener Madeline, who is a finalist in the Miss Georgia USA pageant. She is beautiful.
And we also wanted to send out a special shout out to another loyal listener, Kimberly. Thank you so much for listening.
We appreciate all of you, and thanks for making 2016 so much brighter for us. Speaking of brightening things up, Susan, I think it's time to talk about the most important thing that has happened in my life in the past week. I got a necklace for Christmas that says sushi.
Oh my gosh, Jem. You said in one of our other episodes that you needed a necklace that says sushi.
So for those of you that haven't caught up or haven't listened to everything, we were discussing the kind of that 10-year reunion special that aired on MTV, and Lauren Conrad, whose husband's name is William Tell, had a lot of personalized, Apple jewelry and jewelry that had his name and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I want a necklace that says the things that I like to eat, like sushi. Lo and behold, one of our amazing listeners gave me a necklace for Christmas that says sushi. And check our social media. I obviously posted pictures of it all over the place, and I'm just enthralled by it. And do you think it would be weird for me to wear it next time I go to a sushi place and eat?
Yes.
Is that like wearing the band t-shirt to see the band?
Yes.
Okay. I'll wear it to like a coffee place.
Okay, that works fine. Jem, I think it's time for you to confess your sins to me. Based on social media, I see that you were doing something that you know I would not approve of.
I might have done something that you're not going to be happy about.
Go ahead, Jem. Confess Tell me what horrible thing that you have done that I would not approve of.
I may or may not have purposefully and intentionally binged on Keeping Up with the Kardashians from the beginning.
I am shocked, dismayed, horrified, disappointed in you, Gem of Words Unspoken, the Hills podcast.
So basically how you feel about me every week when you edit our audio.
Correct.
Okay, so I'm coming clean about it. And you know, I have tried to watch it many times just because, like, I don't know why. You know, everybody needs a little trash TV. And I did watch it for research purposes several years ago because I was Kim Kardashian for Halloween in a group costume. So I legit needed to know things about it. And I could not make it past the first episode. So clearly, I've lost a lot of brain cells in the intervening years and am now able to not only get through the first episode, but watch it continuously on Hulu, when it gets to the point where you're like, hello, are you still watching? And I'm sitting there like, yep, still here. But it turned out to be very beneficial for my main purpose in life, which is this podcast, because there were a lot of tie-ins with the Hills. In one of the really early episodes, there's a whole piece with the girls doing a bikini photo shoot in Mexico at the house of the Girls Gone Wild guy, by the way, which is super gross. But Ashley Page of Money Candle fame was the designer of the suits, and she acted as much of a fool in this episode as she did in Up With Lauren when she had her fashion show. She was just freaking out and wasn't happy about anything, and everything was a disaster. And it was just, you know, it's kind of like things just come full circle, and the world is small, and you know,
that world is definitely small. The reality TV show world. I feel like they all are on each other's shows. Well, I will forgive you this time, and as long as you enjoyed it, it's okay for you to watch it.
Susan, I don't know if you know this, but we're basically really good friends with a lot of celebrities.
Obviously.
And I would like to talk about a few of my BFFs. You know Elodie, our girl who has the bathroom chats with Heidi?
Yes, I love her.
She liked our picture of her on Instagram and commented LOL. So we're basically the best of friends now.
Oh my gosh, was that the one where she's rolling her eyes and it says mood on it?
It is.
That was a great one.
Which was great, and she's great. I did a little stalking on her account, and she looks like she's having lots of fun, and she looks beautiful. Also, Jamie Kennedy is great friends with us now via Twitter, and I do have to share, this is another shameful secret, Malibu's Most Wanted is actually a very frequently played movie in this house.
Yeah. I feel like I've watched it there 3 times.
My husband and I have seen this movie so many times. There's probably nothing about this movie that holds up from a Gem and Susan for social justice standpoint, but it still has some really great quotes, like when he's getting kidnapped and they throw him in the trunk and he says, shotgun.
Well, the thing about the Gem and Susan for social justice in this movie is I feel like because it really is a parody movie, that they know that they're being awful, so it's okay.
Well, I love Jamie Kennedy, and also we're friends, so I'll give him a pass on that one. But hey, Jamie, we love you. Thanks for the Twitter shoutouts. Also, Adam Carolla is clearly a fan of ours. I think we may have briefly touched on that a few weeks ago. He has been extremely involved with us on various social media platforms. I do have to admit, I used to listen to Loveline, and I loved what was the show with Dr. Drew? Was that Loveline?
Yeah, that was Loveline, I think.
Yeah, I love that show, and I love Dr. Drew. Oh my goodness, he is so handsome.
It's funny you would say something about Adam Carolla because I was just watching Two Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Parlor the other day. Throwback! And Adam Carolla was a guest on there. But Gem, the reason why Adam Carolla has been liking our social media posts is probably because he wishes that he had the large audience for his podcast that we have for ours.
That's probably what it is. Yeah. The Man Show. That's the other with Jimmy Kimmel. Before Jimmy Kimmel was fancy and suave. And one more thing before I forget, I keep meaning to mention this. Everybody needs to Google James Franco, Justin Bobby. This is a super old video from forever ago. It's still on YouTube. It is hilarious. I can't remember who else is in it, but It's literally James Franco doing an amazing Justin Bobby impression, and everybody that listens to our show has got to watch this immediately.
It is one of the funniest things ever. I think I started crying. I was laughing so hard when I watched it. It was amazing.
Let's jump to Twitter, since we haven't really talked too much about that. Hello to the Talk Hole Pod Network in Canada. Hello again, Canada. Hello, Justin Trudeau. And Dean Young, who's part of that network.
Yeah, thank you, Dean. He said he was going to binge our podcast over the Christmas holidays, so I hope you enjoyed it, and let us know what you think about it. Send us an email. We'll read it on the air.
And Baby Nerf Gun told us on Twitter, I believe she's in Australia, said she was watching The Hills for the first time. Aww.
I love that. Brand new watchers and brand new listeners. Welcome to the family.
Life is just great. MDM5289 on Twitter said something that I thought was hilarious. Watching The Hills and remembering when JB stood for Justin Bobby, not Justin Bieber. Hashtag TBT.
Amen, sister.
And then Jackie Clot on Twitter said, these are her life goals. Are you ready for this, Susan?
Okay, I'm ready.
Number 1, be Lauren Conrad. Number 2, be a baddie like Audrina. And number 3, marry Justin Bobby. And Julie in New York said, I can't remember where my notebook is, but I can recall all the details of why LC and Heidi fought on the hills. Same, girl, same.
I mean, doesn't everyone remember that? It was a pretty important moment in reality TV show history, but we haven't gotten there yet. I can't wait to get to those episodes.
Wait, they're gonna fight?
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Just because we love Hot Messly so much, we're gonna holler at her from a Twitter standpoint too. She said, The Hills is officially the precursor to Pump Rules, and I will write the thesis to prove it. Until then, and then she posted a photo collage, which I suggest you check out. I'm pretty sure we retweeted it and reposted on Instagram, but we will discuss more of that later. Also, the final result from the favorite Lady on the Hills poll have come in. Lauren wins by a whopping 78%.
Yes, queen!
Whitney comes in second at 22%.
Yay, Whitney!
And Audrina and Heidi, if you know math, ended up at 0.
If you know math. I love Audrina. That's sad. Anyway, moving on. Nothing to say about Heidi. Nothing to see here. Move along.
I have too little time and too many friends. Winners of the week. Our Winner of the Week segment is going to be about us, the 2 most important people in the world. From a holiday standpoint, tell me about your winner of the holiday week.
Well, Jem, that's easy. I am the winner of my holiday week because, number 1, I got to spend tons of time with my friends and family. We had an amazing Christmas. It was so awesome. My husband has been off work, so we've pretty much been lazing around doing nothing but watching movies and TV and enjoying hanging out. So I am my winner of the week. It has been an amazing holiday week, and I don't want to go back to real life.
I have something to add to that. You took the most incredible holiday pictures of all of our festivities. They are beautiful. I'm about to order about 1,000 prints from you, so my house is going to look even more ridiculous than it already does. So thank you for commemorating all of the family times.
You're welcome. It's my job. That's the best thing about being a photographer is that you can actually take photos during your family's events. Some photographers don't like to do it, but I love to do it. Jem, who is your winner of the week?
My holiday winner of the week is all of the children in our family because they got a ridiculous amount of love, attention, and gifts from us, and we love kids. Ironically, none of us sisters have any children of our own, but we love hanging out with our nephews, our cousins, and they were definitely the winners, hands down. They're super spoiled by us, and they totally deserve it.
Absolutely.
Jem
and Susan's funniest moments.
Susan, what was your funniest holiday moment? And please don't let it be the same one I picked.
I am so glad you're the director today because I get to go first because obviously I'm almost certain that we have the same funniest moment. On Christmas Eve, on Christmas Eve, my husband was opening his presents from you, Jem, and he pulls out from the bag pictures of you and your husband. And then he reaches, he's kind of confused, he reaches back in and pulls photos of you and your husband. And we were all laughing so hard. Like, Jem, you fell down on the floor, like, laughing hysterically. You fell out of your chair. It was so funny. Because there was, like, what? It was 10 or 15 pictures of you and your husband.
Okay, it wasn't like...
I know you didn't mean to do it, but explain what happened.
It wasn't like a little stack of, like, oh, here's some 5x7s.
Right.
It's like big... frameable, like, formal prints of, like, our engagement pictures and wedding pictures. So I guess when I was assembling everything for the holidays, I had sorted through a lot of prints that I was giving as gifts, and I must have just, for some reason, thrown... I honestly don't know what happened. I have no explanation for it. It is my funniest holiday moment as well. I did fall out of my chair. There's literally a picture of me, like, face down on the floor, laughing hysterically. And he just kept pulling them out of the bag, and it got funnier and funnier. And he's just like, I don't know what's happening. So I don't have an explanation for why it happened, but it was freaking hilarious. And my stomach hurts just looking at those pictures of him looking at the picture.
It was so funny. Words on Spoken the Hills podcast New Year's resolutions.
Woo-hoo! Susan, what is your New Year's resolution for Words Unspoken, the Hills podcast?
My New Year's resolution might be very difficult to keep because it is to be a little nicer to Heidi and Spencer. I know, I'm very rough on them.
Susan, that's a really good resolution. Unfortunately, I think with each episode that goes by, it's going to be harder and harder for you to keep it. So I'm going to be reminding you of this in a few weeks, and you're going to be real sorry you made this resolution.
What is your resolution, Jem?
My Words Unspoken Hills podcast New Year's resolution comes from my boss / sister / co-host / producer / podcast editor / meanest, bossiest podcast partner ever, who says that I smack too much when I talk, and it's very frustrating when she edits. And I know I do that in real life.
Funniest thing is, I know just from looking at the spikes, I know when you're smacking without even listening to it because it looks different from all the other wiggly lines while I'm editing.
I need to... Oh, I just did it.
I know. I'm going to leave that one in, Jem, for proof.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us for this very special bonus episode. We can't wait to hear so much more from you in 2017. Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year, y'all. Thank you.
We love you.
You and all your pretty little friends up in the hills where the party never ends. Your schemes and your dreams when you're whole and you're broken. I'm telling all about it in my words unspoken.
Ooh, I had to burp. I don't know.